She laughed the first few times she did it. Every morning, Karen drove her shiny SUV straight over my mailbox, pretending it was an accident. The tire marks, the crushed metal, the smug smile, it was all part of her power game. "You should have built it stronger," she'd say, smirking as she sped off. I reported it to the HOA, of course. But guess who was the president? Yep, her. She even fined me for obstructing the community path. That's when I decided, if she wanted a stronger mailbox, I'd give her one. So I built a new one. A solid concrete base, steel reinforced post, and a cast iron box bolted right into the ground. It looked harmless, painted nice and simple, just like before. But under that paint was a structure tough enough to stop a truck. The next morning, like clockwork, I watched from my porch. Karen came speeding around the corner, coffee in one hand, phone in the other. Then bam, her SUV crumpled like a soda can. Airbags exploded, horn blaring. She stumbled out, screaming, "You sabotaged me." I called 911 calmly. "There's been an accident," I said, sipping my coffee. "Right in front of my property line." When the cops arrived, they asked for the security footage, and I had it all. Every time she'd hit it. Every fine she'd written me. Every smirk. The officer turned to her and said, "Ma'am, you might want to call your insurance. He's well within his rights." She was silent for once. As the tow truck hauled her SUV away, I just waved politely. "Told you I'd build it stronger." By evening, the whole neighborhood knew. And that mailbox, still standing perfectly straight, not a single scratch. That evening, Karen showed up at my door, sunglasses hiding a fresh bruise, rage barely contained. "You'll pay for this," she snapped. "I'll have the HOA sue you for endangering the community." I leaned on the railing, calm as ever. "Go ahead," I said. "But maybe you should watch the footage first." I handed her a flash drive. She hesitated, grabbed it, and stomped off. Hours later, her husband came by instead, apologetic, pale. "She didn't know you had cameras," he said quietly. "And she didn't know your brother's a lawyer." Word spread faster than wildfire. The HOA board called an emergency meeting, not to punish me, but to remove her. Turns out, most of the neighborhood was tired of her nonsense. They voted her out right there, on camera, as she screamed, "You can't do this to me." I just smiled from the back row. 2 weeks later, a brand new HOA president came by to shake my hand. "We reviewed your footage," he said. "You handled this perfectly. And that mailbox, it's a masterpiece." Karen's SUV was totaled, her HOA title gone, and her pride shattered. As I looked out from my porch that night, the street was quiet for the first time in months. The mailbox stood tall, gleaming under the porch light. And I couldn't help but laugh. "Funny," I muttered. "She always said I'd never stand up to her. Guess the mailbox did it for me." A few days later, Karen's revenge took a new form. She started spreading rumors, claiming I'd booby-trapped the mailbox, that it was some kind of illegal weapon. She even brought a city inspector to my property, trying to get me fined. But the inspector took one look at the setup, chuckled, and said, "Ma'am, this is actually textbook, reinforced for safety. Perfectly legal." Then he looked at me and whispered, "Honestly, one of the best I've seen." Karen's face turned crimson. "You're all protecting him," she barked. The inspector just sighed and walked away. That same night, a certified letter arrived for her, a lawsuit. Turns out, her insurance company denied her claim, citing driver negligence and the HOA bylaws she herself wrote. Every repair, every fee, every lie, now coming back to her in full. Meanwhile, the rest of the neighborhood started treating me differently. Folks waved as they passed. One guy even asked where he could get one of those indestructible mailboxes. A week later, Karen's house went up for sale, the same house she once bragged she'd rule from forever. As the moving trucks pulled away, she shot me one last glare from her car window. I raised my coffee mug and smiled. "Drive safe this time." And as her car disappeared down the road, my phone pinged, a message from the new HOA president. "Greater than, mailbox still standing." I replied with a photo of it shining in the sunset. "Always."